This full moon is all about choosing yourself over anyone else's drama. You're really not tolerating anyone else's BS anymore if you're doing really well. If you're excited to dive into it exactly, we can all expect, and you can personally expect based on your rising sign for this full moon in Aries, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. Firstly, we're going to get into the overall vibe of this full moon, then we will get into explaining how exactly it's going to play out for you based on your sign. If you're new here, hi, I'm Maren. I make videos about astrology and other cool stuff. I make music too, so check that out on my channel, and I'm a Western astrologer using the tropical zodiac and whole sign houses. If you want to get a reading from me or ask me any personal astrology questions, I have links for that down below as well. So this is happening on September 29th, 2023 at 2:58 a.m. Pacific time, so it'll be 5:58 a.m. Eastern time in the US. This is my brother's birthday, so happy birthday, Clay. Hope that this is a good full moon on your birthday. This is happening with the sun at 6 degrees of Libra and the moon at 6 degrees of Aries, meaning that the sun is in the first decan of Libra and the moon is in the first decan of Aries. The decans are third parts of each sign, which add a little bit of texture and extra meaning, which I only really like to bring in for new and full moons, because those are really the times when we want to tell a story and understand even more context that is kind of on the minutia level. So the moon is in the first decan of Aries, like I mentioned, and this is associated with the Two of Wands tarot card, also known as like the Axe decan apparently, which I have in my notes from many years in classes of just compilations of notes around each of these decans. So Aries itself is a Mars ruled sign. Mars being a planet of action, aggression, and cutting things definitely adds an aggressive or cutthroat tone to this full moon. And this decan itself is also ruled by Mars, adding a double Martian aggressive or combative tone to what's going on here. So it doesn't really show that we've cut someone or cut something out or won quite yet. This shows more so that we are ready to go. We have courage, we have this drive, and we're very inspired to play that aggressive or that cutthroat role later on. We're very internally full and very internally supported to then go after whatever it is we need to conquer or really get done. This is not necessarily a violent image at all. It's more so just empowered in a very militaristic way. The sun is then on the opposite part of the zodiac, which is the first decan of Libra. And as someone myself with the moon in this decan, I know it pretty well. It's associated with the Two of Swords tarot card, and this is a decan ruled by the moon. So Libra is ruled by Venus, but this decan rulership by the moon is particularly relevant because this is a full moon, so it's adding in even more relevance to the how important this full moon is. So with Venus ruling Libra and the moon ruling this one part, these are both very passive, very conflict-averse energies. Venus does not do conflict because it promotes harmony. The moon does not do conflict because it is the really warm, cuddly, emotional nature within us, and it does not want to fight. So this decan is all about not bringing up the awkwardness or the tension or the difficulties that might be in the social dynamic. So this card and this decan and this part of the zodiac is very much not bringing up the elephant in the room, not causing conflict, not stirring the pot. As someone with my own moon there, I know that literally you could be trying to murder me, and I'm gonna be like, we can resolve this peacefully. I get your perspective. Let's talk it out. I literally will do anything besides engage in conflict. So it's an uninterrogated problem. That is basically what's being highlighted here, which shows that basically this is a celebration of doing what we can control and getting the fuck away from keeping quiet about other people's shit. This is not showing that there's a huge blow up or a huge dynamic, but it's more so showing that we're going after what we can control. We're going after what we're empowered to have an adventure towards. We're going after what is really meaningful and in our own actual effort. We're not going to focus on what other people's BS is that we feel like we're having to keep quiet about or not bring up in order to keep the peace. The sun in Libra is very tightly conjunct Pallas, which is an asteroid that I don't bring up unless literally it is conjunct something. As I do with any of the asteroids, I don't find them relevant unless they are conjunct something. But Pallas is an asteroid representing very feminine, very kind of womanly or very delicate knowledge, specifically pertaining to literature or the healing arts. So this is a very feminine energy of of like, I'm gonna stay out of conflict, I'm not gonna engage, I'm gonna mind my own business. The full moon itself is actually making no challenging aspects to other planets by degree, which shows that this is kind of a clean break of like other people's BS. We're just tired of it, we're going to move on, we're not gonna cause a big deal about it. It's an uninhibited release of what we can't control, and we're keeping our own internal peace instead of focusing on others and whatever drama they're undergoing right now. Now, Mars is in Libra and it's on the South Node. Mars, being the ruler of this full moon, is like I said, the aggressive, active planet, and in Libra, it's in what's called its antithesis, which is the opposite sign from the sign it rules, and this indicates a discomfort or being out of its element. And if you want a full video on essential dignity or signs that planets do better or worse in, I have a full video on essential dignity. You can look up best and worst placements, Maren, you'll find it. It's a clickbait title, it goes to much more nuance. But with Mars being in its exile, this is a very passive aggressive energy. This is not combative. This is once again reiterating the avoidant energy of this full moon, and it's on the South Node, which represents release or letting go. So we're likely to be instead of weighing things out, instead of being the judge, instead of being this Mars and Libra mediator about what's fair in this dynamic, we're gonna let it go. We're not gonna sit here and try to work out peacefully this conflict in front of us that probably has nothing to do with us. We're going to release the need to control the situation, release the mental anguish, and get the fuck out. It's not our problem. We're gonna continue being our own, continue our own path. Mars is also opposite Chiron, and Chiron, when it's in an aspect, shows vulnerability, being triggered, or feeling like there's something particularly like soft in us that's being really aggravated. So our decision here to remain independent and not fall into resolving other people's conflicts is triggering us because we've done this in the past, and this is an opportunity to be different and not fall into that trap. Venus is also exactly squaring Uranus closely at 22 degrees. So Venus is in Leo. Venus is no longer retrograde, it is direct. And a square to Uranus shows the final disruptive moment that we will not tolerate any more of. So Venus square Uranus shows disruptions in relationships, this triggered chaos of having an opposing desire from the other party. This is the third and final Venus-Uranus square. There's one in July, there was one in August, and now there is one ending at the very end of September into October. There's one final last straw of this chaotic relationship dynamic where we're not gonna associate with this other party anymore. This chaos is no longer worth entertaining. We're not putting up with it. It is not drama that we care to be involved in anymore. Now Venus is also conjunct Juno, and Juno is an asteroid of marriage, union, togetherness. It is a bond. So the bond itself is being disrupted. However, because this full moon doesn't look particularly challenging, I'm gonna go out on a limb and actually say that the focus of this new moon is not you in this relationship. It's some other relationship dynamic that's not super personal to you that you're deciding to stay out of and mind your own business because it's too complicated and you don't want to be involved. Now, Jupiter will be conjunct Uranus in Taurus, not too close by degree. So this is a background energy of a lot of this September, October, and it's showing that there is this realization of positive breakthrough and this air of seeing the bright side and how we can benefit from this sudden change of plans. That is a really optimistic, abundant energy in the background, honestly. Mercury will also be trining Jupiter and Uranus. So having Mercury in Virgo is very strong. Mercury is at home and exalted in Virgo, so communication is in its own element in a way. So we're able to verbalize the positive breakthroughs that we're suddenly getting a hold of. However, Mercury will be opposite Neptune in Pisces, which is extremely confusing and out of touch with reality. So even if we have Mercury in Virgo for this, we are concise and eloquent with the way that we're speaking, the communication and the interpretation is likely to be completely out of the ordinary, completely to be like misconceptions, misconstruing everything. I would not expect the recipient of your reaction to be understanding of it, although I don't see this escalating. I just see it being fuzzy. So this full moon is one of independence and breaking free of someone else's drama. You're choosing your own joy and your alignment is becoming your priority. So if you have any thoughts or any questions around this full moon, do drop them down below. I like this full moon. I think it's a nice independent energy and I am looking forward to it. Now we're going to get into what it means for you based on your rising sign and end with a tarot card about this full moon. So if you are an Aries rising, it's in your first house of self. You are literally choosing yourself most specifically. Like, this whole video was most relevant in a direct way towards you for literally choosing yourself over another party's drama. If you're a Taurus rising, this is in your 12th house of mental health or addictions and spirituality. So you are choosing to go on your own path and let go of or eliminate some kind of dependency that no longer feels like it's worth entertaining. If you're a Gemini rising, it's in your 11th house of networking and other groups of people. So you're probably cutting ties with a large group of people that is just really annoying to you. If you are a Cancer rising, it's in your 10th house of career. So you're probably choosing your own career over appeasing that of your family or people that are close around you. If you're a Leo rising, it's in your 9th house of foreign travel, higher education, or beliefs. So you're probably letting go of an educational path, a travel situation, or a belief like in a religion that no longer feels like it's really you at this point in your life. If you are a Virgo rising, this is in your 8th house of finance, investing, or witchcraft in the occult. So you're probably paying off or releasing loans, debts, or doing some kind of really intense banishing or like letting go cord cutting ritual with this. If you're a Libra rising, this is in your 7th house of committed relationships. So you are probably ending a relationship that feels like it is no longer about you, or it no longer really honors your independence. If you are a Scorpio rising, it's in your 6th house of physical health or coworkers. So you're probably letting go of a way of physically living your life that's not constructive, or people that work around you, you're firing them or departing from them. If you're a Sagittarius rising, it's in your 5th house of dating or creativity. So you could be releasing a creative project out into the world that's finally ready to be unveiled, or you could be breaking up with someone or having a really eventful situation with your dating partner. If you're a Capricorn rising, this is in our 4th house of family or home, so you're probably letting go of a home or family living situation that is not really in your energy or in your alignment. If you're an Aquarius rising, this is in your 3rd house of content or communication or daily routine, so you're probably ending something that you were working on regarding writing or content, or changing up your routine because it's out of whack. And if you are a Pisces rising, this is in your 2nd house of income or spending, so you're letting go of something that was an income stream or a way of spending that is just not honoring your long-term financial health anymore. The Occult Tarot card that we will be looking at for this full moon, let's see. Marquiosis, 9 of Wands. A strong, faithful fighter follows all commands and answers all questions. This is such in line with this Martian, very like militant energy of cutting forward our own path, where like you are not entertaining anyone else, and you will answer questions and you'll give an explanation, but like you're not gonna overextend your boundaries around this. So if you have any thoughts or anything to say around this full moon, let me know how you're feeling and how the vibe is on your end for this. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.
Oh, there is one.